wanted to show you the hydrangeas are coming into bloom. I think that they are a good 2 weeks early, easy for us this year, and I totally attribute it to the Great Big Roses. I fertilized with Great Big Roses. Although it's a roses product, they love it. Right now, if you want to see the size of the bloom against my hand. So I really wanted a hydrangea hedge here on the walkway, and on the opposite side here of the walkway, I've got roses, of course. And I'm thinking I need to put a box hedge on this side of the walkway over here just for structure and for color in the winter months. Let's go over here. These are Limelight Primes. And so Limelights themselves are going to be 8 foot by 8 foot. Do you guys see that bunny over there? 8 foot by 8 foot. And these are more narrow in size. I'll go ahead and put the dimensions up on the screen. If you're thinking about this, it's a beautiful color. You guys, I just love this color. I love this not quite cream, almost green. And in the fall, these will fade down to it have a rosy color to it. I'll show you the roses real quick. This is our second-ish flush. We had beetles come in, the Japanese beetles, and so everything's blooming, but they're really kind of scattered, and I'm just dealing with the beetles right now. I added Jackson & Perkins Double Easy Orange here, and this is Lady Emil Hamilton, looking so very pretty. This is a new one that I got from Palatine called Alabaster, and that's Pat back there. Let's take a quick walk down here as we head out to the road. Look at this standard. This is Carding Mill. It's first season, and oh my gosh, it brings me so much joy. Really, really nice. And so I do have standards all the way down, and they've been blooming sporadically. This is called a Firelight hydrangea, and so I have Firelight here, and I might even have one down a little bit further. So this bed is kind of in flux because I planted on the property line, and those need to come up. I believe those are also Firelights, so those will be shifting here in the next month. This is a Desdemona standard. If you're looking at the white in front of these raised beds, I thought that would look really pretty if I was making a vase. And I think it's called Peter Cottontail. Let me get closer for you. I'm getting distracted. These are now the Limelights. Now these little tiny ones in the Obelisk down here, they were added, I want to say last fall, because I found out that the hydrangeas that had been there were not Limelights. And so I wanted to make sure that I got the right plants in here. These are all getting ready to really bloom this weekend, and I think that we're going to get a little rain, and so that will test how these obelisks are doing. And I'll go ahead and pop a link up when we created the video on how to make the obelisks in case you're interested. But if you're looking here, you can't even see the obelisks, and so I like them because it gives me winter structure, but during blooming the focus remains on the hydrangea, and I'm just hoping that with this first rain that it'll give them the support that they need, that maybe they're not flopping as much. I've got my knot garden here that Paul Zimmerman helped me to create. I can't wait until it all starts to fill out, that's going to take a couple of seasons. So, you know, we've got the hydrangeas tucked in there. Let's get closer. This one really wanted to bloom early this year. The other ones are trying to catch up. But look at this beautiful, massive bloom. I love it. Okay, so let me show you the other hydrangeas really quick. Again, we've got firelights over here on this side. Firelights will grow to be about the same size as the limelights. I have a doll standard here. It is so beautiful. Ignore the damage on the leaves from beetles. I really think I only have about 1 week left fighting with them. Let's see, Desdemona is over here in bloom. But these are wee white, and they are supposed to stay pretty small. We just added a cistern, if you're looking at that ugly thing. So I'm hoping that these will cover that here in the future. But the wee whites, they also have a very light green hue to them. We'll look at it at the other direction. All right, I want to take you down to the water real quick. See down here the pop of color from the hydrangea standards. I've got 2 here flanking the pier, and I have 1 on this corner, 1 over there, but it has really struggled. So I'm probably going to be replacing that one in the fall. My only frustration about the standards is that I thought they were going to be taller, and not being an experienced hydrangea standard buyer, when I saw them at the store, I didn't realize that this is it. You know, they're gonna grow maybe 4 foot tall or so, 4.5 foot. Let's see if I can get you closer. So you can see that the trunk is really low. So just pay attention to that if you're looking for standards, and if you have the opportunity to buy one that is larger, I would do so. So when we're looking over here, I have limelights again. This is after we've had maybe 2 heavy rains. I think these on the waterfront side are still looking pretty good, so the blooms are not too heavy. But look how beautiful the limelights are. I'm telling you, they just make my heart sing. Okay, so this is the left side of the property, and these hydrangeas, I want to say, are 1 to 2 seasons behind the other ones that I just showed you. I decided that I wanted to fill this area with hydrangea, and so you'll see that they are just a little bit smaller. If you were asking how long does it take them to get to this size, I'm thinking that this is season 3. In the next coming weeks, if you watched my video summary on the gardens, I plan on increasing this bed to about here, so that I'm going to be bringing out any roses, bringing out the boxwood to give everything more room. So in the event that you're thinking about hydrangea, please plan on 8 foot by 8 foot for the size of that hydrangea. All right, let's head out to the road. So you can see my obelisks here that we created. I really think that they are doing a great job. Let's go over here and look at this one. I was a little bit worried after the last rain that we had. The blooms were just so heavy. Let me get behind here. The blooms were just so heavy that I was afraid that I needed more support on the obelisks. So we'll review this picture against what we took prior to the rain. Let's look at them from the front. Oh, and do you remember the video I did with my Benjamin Brittons where I cut them down to waist high? I told you that GBR is awesome. Look at it. I mean, they're already above my head again. So anyways, all right, let's back up. You can see the Obelisk where the weight has been brought down slightly by the blooms. So what I'm thinking during the winter, I might put additional horizontal supports just on these two upper sections so that when it grows through, they'll have the support that they need. But if we look at this one here, you can't see the Obelisk. It looks great, and the same for the remaining two. And let's get closer on this one. You can barely see the Obelisk. And this one you can only see the Obelisk, these two, because of the age of the Hydrangea, that they're a little bit younger. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.